Hello guys, this is Avcoor, and I want to talk about the anniversary, but first I want to talk about the Limit Break banner. And I'm pretty excited about this. I have some concerns, and we'll get into that. It's not too bad, but there's some things you really need to consider when you pull on this banner, and I'm going to talk about that right now. So, first of all, I do like the costume. It's nice. There's some things I don't like about it, but hey, that's just my personal opinion. It is what it is, but it looks nice. So when we get down into the nitty gritty, the mechanics of this costume, this is my feelings how I went into it. First of all, I was like, wow, this is pretty broken. Then I saw it again, I'm like, wow, it's pretty like a big letdown. And then I saw it again, I was like, okay, it's a little balance. So one of the best aspects of this costume is the fact that it does have boost attack all allies. I would hope this would be able to stack on top of each other, but doesn't look like that. And it doesn't matter. The fact that it's passive in this part of the costume is legit. Like you're getting physical attack plus 10 and plus 5%, which isn't the biggest boost, but it does go a long way when you're trying to finally tune your team in order to do a certain task. So that's really helpful. Bahamut's Bite is something that I really debated in my mind. The physical attack plus 5%, I'm like, well, it's not that much, but the higher your physical attack goes up, the higher this will affect it. So if you actually stack his physical attack with physical attack boost and physical attack boost all, this will actually become more potent. But that's when you're at the whale or the end game level. So if you're a newer player, you won't get the most out of it. The attack stance command guard max physical ability damage plus 10 is pretty good. So overall, he's getting three abilities in one costume, and you can't overlook that. But I think in-game players are going to benefit more than newer players from this costume. So when we look at Bahamut's Greatsword, I have mixed feelings about this weapon. So when you take it to 120 OB0, the physical attack is 291, which is indicative of a high physical attack stat later on, which we'll go into. You're dealing 430 physical non-elemental damage, which is kind of sus, to all enemies, which makes it digestible. But also you get haste when you first use it, which is basically an ATB boost from what we've seen so far, and that's not so bad. So when your HP is 50% or more, you deal 10,000 additional non-elemental physical potency damage. The question is, will you be able to increase it based on your stats? Because we already know from looking at the overview when we went through the updates that this can be decreased by certain abilities that the bosses may have. So we know this can be reduced. The question is, can you actually increase it? So you're getting P-attack or allies, which is standard, and you're getting boost physical ability potency, which actually goes well with this costume. So this is solid. But for a one-off, you're not going to get that much out of it. You're getting P-attack, and siege boost. I'm really disappointed the fact that they didn't give him an elemental boost right here. Like with Vincent with his weapon, he got like ice. Like when you got guide gloves or the Monster Hunter weapon, you actually got fire boost right here. So that was a bit disappointing. I thought the devs could have at least given him something right there. So I didn't like that at all. I really didn't like that at all, period. So when you get to OB6, 640 for a OB6 weapon is pretty freaking high. So the stats are where they're supposed to be. 670 physical non-elemental damage, all enemies with a crit rate of 10%, which is pretty solid. And you get a haste extension, so that's pretty solid. And you get 30,000 plus non-elemental damage to enemies. As an AoE weapon, I think this is utterly broken, but like currently in the meta that we exist in, usually there's only one boss, whether that's Guild Wars or the summons or whatever, and you're never gonna get the most out of an AoE weapon. So I think if you're looking at level 100 dungeon boss that we have to do for battle tower, then yeah, this is it. 698 OB10. That's 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 money right there. That's really good. The stats are where they're supposed to be. You're getting 46 points P attack all, which is really good, and you're getting boost physical ability potency, pretty solid. 800 physical non-elemental damage for a non-elemental weapon is kind of low, but when you look at it as an AOE weapon, it's high. You're still getting haste, which is really good, but you're only getting one shot of that. I wish they would have done the same thing they did with Sephiroth's weapon, where when you're only dealing with a single target opponent, then you're gonna deal like more non-elemental damage. That would have been awesome. But I know they're trying to break the mold here, so hopefully this turns out to be better than I thought. But honestly, I'm gonna tell you the truth, I do not think so because this is the current trend concerning Cloud. Cloud goes first, whether it's Monster Hunter, whether it was the crossover, Final Fantasy IX crossover, and then at the end, some character gets this busted weapon and you wasted your tickets on Cloud. Like, case in point, Kamura Wand. I use Kamura Wand in so much content that I don't feel bad about not getting his I forgot the name of his Monster Hunter armor. I didn't get it, and I don't regret getting not getting it as opposed to getting Kamura Wand because Kamura Wand is absolutely broken. Same thing with Kuja Spirit Blade and Zidane Sword. Zidane Sword is really awesome, but I don't feel bad about not having it as opposed to Kuja Spirit Blade, which I use to clear a lot of high-end content. So as far as I'm concerned, honestly, this probably is a pass and you should wait because that's the trend. The thing I do want to talk about is Genji Blade, but the problem with Genji Blade is like when you go here, it only shows you for a little bit of time, so we're gonna have to go out of here. We're gonna have to go to notices. So we're gonna have to go to limit break draw. So Genji Blade is the thing I think is the real king piece of this whole crossover bit. I think this is one of the best weapons currently right now. Not because of the stats. Understand that the stats for the ultimate weapon will not be as high as the stats for your regular weapons because it's an add-on weapon. You actually have a separate slot for it, so that's the case in point with that. But first of all, when you look at the animation for Genji Blade, it's really quick because what you're looking to do here is to deal a lot of damage, but also you're looking to increase your P attack and magic attack. So understand that this is made for Guild Wars where you have a small space of time in order to do a lot of damage. Your goal with this weapon is to pop it once, get your stat boost, deal a lot of damage, and then pop it again and deal a lot of damage and you're done. And it has served its purpose. So inflicting 2,000 non-elemental physical magic damage upon a single enemy means it can hit any target. And that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to deal a lot of damage and increase your overall stats so you can burst damage to enemies. So Genji Blade is the thing that I'm going for. Overall, the number is this. It's going to take you 90,000 crystals in order to guarantee it. And I plan to spend that many crystals in order to get it. I'm fine with that, but this is the weapon to get. I don't think that Cloud's weapon is a necessary weapon. I hate to say that, but they're going to come out with a busted weapon. Probably for Tifa or Aerith, I'm guessing. Because Aerith got a busted weapon last time with Kamura Wand, so we'll have to see. But anyways, like, share, subscribe. Let me know if you actually went for this weapon and how good it is. Because I see a lot of people say that it's good. They say a lot of great things about it, but I personally don't think it's that great. Like, I think Genji Blade is good. And if you do have a Genji Blade, could you please show me like a pic or something if you have it? Because that would be really exciting. But anyways, Have fun. Laters.